What's good? What's happening? What's the deal? So yeah, we're gonna cook tonight. Obviously, you can see what's going on. So nah, I fed you already. The cat asking me to eat as well. So anyway, what's on the menu tonight? I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna wait for some of y'all to come up in the building, and we'll get started from there. But tonight I'm making turkey burgers, y'all. That's what I'm making. So if you in tune, right, it's a simple dish tonight. I didn't make the chili tonight. I'm not with all of that preparation, per se. However, I'm making turkey burgers. And whatever that you don't catch right now at the beginning of this video, you can always play back this video, and you'll see the beginning process of we just making the turkey burgers. And what I want to point out is that when I make my turkey burgers, most of the time, I get my turkey burgers, which these right here, these are the Nature's Promise Stop and Shop. Is one of my favorite supermarkets to shop at. So again, these are the turkey burgers, and what I'm getting at is that I get my turkey burgers straight from the meat department. You see what I'm saying? So I rarely use the frozen, okay, burgers and all. So anytime I prepare a burger meal, it's always from the meat department itself. All right, so that's what's taking place tonight. I told you that we would catch up on a cooking episode, so we here tonight. Let's go, let's get it, let's all right. So what I'm gonna have with this here, with the turkey burgers, I have me some fries to go with it. So with these, I'll bake these, okay? Nothing tonight prepared is fried. So we got the turkey burgers. I'll put that on the skillet, of course. However, the fries will not be fried. They're baked. You see? So I'll be baking these, all right? So let me preheat the oven. So what I do with that in terms of preheating the oven, I'm going to put that on a little under 400, all right? So in preparation for that, right, let me get my, see them lights going up. I appreciate that, much gratitude. So I'm going to put the aluminum foil on the sheet pan, of course. By the way, just to share with you, I had an awesome workout today. Beautiful. It went beyond my expectations. I'm going to be honest with you. And those are the days that I love so much, is that when I didn't necessarily expect to get such a great workout, and it wasn't that I didn't feel good or anything, it just was a day where, the expectations weren't at its highest, and I surprised myself. I really surprised myself. So we got that oven on the preheat. I got my juice in hand, so as you see, my kitchen is small, so for me to be maneuvering around the refrigerator or the tripod and all that, you feel me, I'm gonna have what I need at access right here on the counter. So I was a little thirsty, and speaking of thirst, I just want to point out, I've shared this before, when I choose a juice, I go for the Simply, y'all. That's my choice right there. Not from concentrate, non-GMO. You know, just one of the better choices, you know, compared to a Minute Maid or any of those other drinks, you know. Yeah, so again, the Simply. And I got different type of flavors. Right here is the mango. In the fridge, I have grape, strawberry, watermelon. You know what I'm saying? So go with this Simply, y'all. Go with this. And another thing too, I love apple cider. You heard? So, yo, shout out to the chat. Big salute. I appreciate y'all. I see y'all hitting that like button. Much gratitude as always. And if you chose to subscribe, much gratitude in advance. You already know. 7 Fitness in the building. For those who are definitely familiar with this cooking episode that we do every now and then, right? You see I got the new apron, y'all. How you like that? Shout out to the new apron, yeah? You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, shout it out to Mama Love. She supported me, love what I'm doing, so she gifted me, you know what I'm saying, a apron, you heard? So shout it out to Mama Love, you dig? Now I'm gonna put this pan on. Again, it ain't nothing to it but to do it, you heard? You know, when it comes to, you know, cooking the burgers and all that, man, it's just a matter of, and cooking in general, it's just a matter of, you know, knowing how to gauge the temperature. You know, when it comes to cooking, it's not just about putting food on a skillet or a pan or a pot. Okay, you got to really know what you're doing in terms of the temperature. You know what I'm saying? So, yes, if you're not familiar, you know, working in the kitchen, I will give you that pointer. You heard? Get that temperature under control. Know the level of heat that is needed. You heard? Because we're gonna turn it up. Yeah. So, yeah, let me put the fries on here. So what I do with that bag, I'm going to fold that up nice like so. You heard? I'm trying not to bully you, but you look like, I don't know what he talking about. You know, I don't get caught up in that. Anyway, so we're going to close this bag up to take a little take. Secure that, put that to the side. Now we got the oven preheated. We're going to throw that in the oven, the fries. Get you a sheet pan, throw it on there like so. Again, not fried, a healthier way of prepping, of cooking, right? So I'm not worried about no grease. I'm not worried about no clogged arteries, you know, when I'm baking it this way, you know? And if you somebody, and if you are familiar with cooking, right? I put the fries in. What I do is how I keep the time frame in mind. Now, right now it's what? Close to 7 o'clock. So I know I put those fries in at 7 o'clock. Now, it's just a matter of checking it throughout the cooking time. I mean, long as you're not just outright forgetting about it you should have no issues with burning and, you know, overcooking anything. You feel me? So, yeah, I got the pan on. So what I do is with the pan, I put it at a high temperature, get that pan nice and hot. You see what I'm saying? And then I'll add the burger, right? Let's pop this open. Let's get a knife. Simple as that. Boom. Put that in there in the sink. Here we go. And by the way, speaking of turkey burgers, these are nice, healthy size. You know what I mean? Like a nice size patty. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to hit that on there like so. Ah. And then once I put that in that hot pan as such, then I turn the fire down. Okay? So when I start off with the fire so high, right? For me, that prevents the food from sticking to the pan. Now, when I turn the fire down, the juices from the patty will keep the pan nice and, you know, lubricated, if you will, and that's how you do that. You know what I'm saying? It's just as simple as that. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's really what's taking place tonight, you know. Like I said, I turn that fire down. We got the fries on. Like I said, I keep them, I keep the heat a little under 400 because I like my fries to, everything. I like the burgers to be tender, and I like the fries to be crispy, but yet, you know, it's fluffy. The potatoes are fluffy, you know, inside the potato, inside the fry itself, right? The outer should be crispy, but inside the actual French fry should be fluffy, okay? So, yeah, and that's really about it. That's all I'm doing tonight. You feel what I'm saying? I'm making the turkey burgers on this Sunday, and simple. You know, I don't even have no well, I'm not preparing any veggies tonight to eat. I had oatmeal earlier. I had a beautiful breakfast. You know, so this is more of the protein and carb intake tonight. You know what I'm saying? So I'm neglecting the veggies tonight. You heard? So, yeah. And then I do have a little pumpkin pie, and I have ice cream for dessert. You see what I'm saying? I definitely well-deserved, earned. I put in a lot of work. So, you know, being that I do what I do, I earned, you know what I'm saying, my partake in, you know, such food as they call junk. But I'm a big fan of ice cream regardless, you know what I'm saying? But everything in moderation, you dig? Straight up. You gotta get an air fryer to cut most of the work out for you if it's quick meals, like especially with the fries, no grease needed. Shout out to you for that suggestion. Appreciate you. Yeah, but I like that oven though. You know what I'm saying? One thing I know for sure, I just actually saw something on my feed about that air fryer. Certain air fryers got that little situation where it's like it got some type of something that has like a some kind of poisonous reaction to the food or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Don't quote me on that, but you know, I mean, listen. And that's just certain ones. You know what I'm saying? Certain ones I've heard of, but I like that oven though. I like that oven. You know what I'm saying? But be honest with you, I never even really had nothing out no air fryer. You know what I'm saying? But one thing for sure, when you talking about, cutting time in the kitchen, if I have the time, this is a form of therapy for me. So I'm not so quick to save time for the sake of, like, it depends, right? I mean, however, this is again a moment to where it's again more of a therapeutic. It's sacred, especially when you're preparing your own food. So I like to take my time and everything, So yeah, you know what I'm saying on that you know what I mean on yeah, definitely on that type of time. You heard for sure. You know what I'm saying, but that's really it tonight. Like, I'm not preparing nothing that really. Tonight is cutting some time, to be honest with obviously, you know what I'm saying. So because it's a very quick meal, you know what I'm saying. It's a very quick meal, for the most part. Nothing in the microwave. You still gotta cook it. You still gotta prepare it. You know what I'm saying. It's like it's always something, like I said, with the air fryer situation, it's always something that, rises to the surface of exposure of what has been harmful more than we thought. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what can you do? Yeah, I understand. That's why I said when it's quick meals like this, okay, quick turkey, burger, and fries. Now, if it was going to be blackened salmon, asparagus, roasted potatoes, etc., then yeah, take your time. Yeah, for sure. Now, that's a fact. I'm with you. Word, word. Absolutely. Definitely. And then, so, what I like in terms of the bread, I rocks with that Martin's, y'all. So, again, giving you some insight on, my choices of what I like. You know what I'm saying? I just bought a fresh loaf, which is I keep my bread in the fridge. It's in there now. So I got a fresh loaf. This is the end of this loaf. I have to keep the bread here. My son, he liked the grilled cheese and all that. So, but I like bread too. You know what I'm saying? Like, see, this the thing. Even though I work out, and I'm not against carbs, no, none of that. You know what I'm saying? Everything in moderation. So when I eat, it's always a thing of, not overdoing it. You know what I'm saying? Getting what I need and keeping it moving. But I'm definitely very particular, and I don't mind, spending a few extra dollars on quality. Now with the market. All right, I bet y'all can hear me now. I know how to fix that. But yeah, I got a call and I had to. But I appreciate y'all. I see y'all hitting that like button, man. Much gratitude. Indeed. And so, what I want to point out too, when I cook my burgers, right? Yo, Fresh, you can hear me now? I'm good now, Fresh? No doubt. You can hear me though? You can hear me now? Alright, that's official. Appreciate you, appreciate you, appreciate you. Hoss. Yes, we out here, you know? So yeah, Fresh, you into the building. We just doing turkey burgers tonight though. You know what I'm saying? You know, a nice I got the fries in the oven. You know what I'm saying? So those is on deck as well. You feel me? So we doing the damn thing straight like that. But it's a quick preparation with the turkey burgers this evening with the fries. Of course, as I mentioned, we baking the fries. You know, we got the turkey burgers on the skillet. Yeah. I ain't frying that. I ain't frying nothing. Nah. We want to keep those, we want to keep that vascular. We want to keep those arteries flowing like a river. You know, and that's the thing. We got to, you know, envision what's taking place in the body. You know, when we talking about our veins, right? The cleaner the blood flow, right? It's like a flowing river. You know what I'm saying? So that's a very important, you know, way in which we avoid impeding on that healthy flow within your veins and your arteries. You heard? So before I flip the burgers, what I like to do is I like for the top of the burger, like, so the blood will rise. It's not much blood. It's a turkey burger, so it's not much, but you could tell, like, I just know when the top of the burger starts to, you know, that, you know, with a little bit of blood that's in there start to rise to the top of the burger, that's the time to flip it. And we almost there. It's again, it's a quick preparation, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, official meal. Wow. And then I wash it down with the Simplies. Yo, I'm glad you said that though. Yo, I forgot the onion, Fresh. Yo, them grill, that's how I be doing it. I put the grilled onion. I forgot the onion, bro, while I was out. And the thing is, when I be at the supermarket, instead of me, like, because I don't be on no rushing time, I try to, as I'm moving about throughout the supermarket, I'm trying to remember certain items, and soon as you get home, it's like, oh man, you know what I'm saying? It's raining outside. It's not gonna be a part of the meal tonight. You know. Yeah, and that's what it is tonight. You know what I'm saying? We got the turkey burgers, we got the fries. It's still a great hour within the evening. This is the perfect time if you have a cutoff time to where you stop eating for the night. So this is perfect. Let's say I eat at 7:30 or close to 8 o'clock. That's the cutoff point from me eating for the rest of the night. Now, however, I told you I got the dessert. So when it comes to the dessert, you know how when you're young and they say, yo, let your food digest. I like to practice that also. You know, so I give myself time at least an hour, the minimum, after eating my dinner. That's when I'll have the dessert. You feel me? So instead of me piling everything on top of each other, you know, in one sitting, you know what I'm saying? I give myself that time to, you know, let the food settle. Of course, it's not fully digested, but at least the body has already have had enough time to process it. And then again, another thing too, what I'm able to take advantage of is that being that I don't overeat, okay, me giving myself that hour really is beneficial in the sense of, again, not having everything piled up in me at one time. And I like to have a consideration, a high consideration for my body with the overeating and again, me reserving a lot of energy, right? So if I'm at work and I have lunch and I'm not overeating, see, I do not like feeling like I'm tired, wiped out, sluggish, none of that. I don't like feeling like that. So after I eat, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to do what I need to do. I'm energized. I'm spunky. You feel me? So, and that's the fitness spirit in me. You feel me? For real. You know? Straight like that. Carbs from potatoes are ideal. You know? Caramelized onions, I should say. He said the caramelized onions. Fresh be doing this one too. You be getting you be getting that chef on yourself. You know? That's what's up. It's very important. You know, a man should know how to feed himself and his family too. It's not just the women. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion. You know? You know, depending on if you got a spouse or not or whatever, or if you a single parent or if you married, whatever the case may be, you know. See, but I said this before too, and I shared with y'all, growing up, I was a latchkey child. So, a lot of trial and error, but that was how I got familiar with cooking. You know what I'm saying? Was that I had to prepare my own meals most of the time. You know what I'm saying? If Mom Duke wasn't home. You heard? So, and I was a latchkey. I was one of those kids with the key around his neck. You know, I was a latchkey child. Whoa. What's up? What's good? Shout it out. Big shout out to the chat, man. Appreciate y'all for hitting that like button, man. I see it. Word up. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, again, like I said, this is a sacred, this is a sacred, way in which we, this is a sacred way in which we care for ourselves and our family. All right? The kitchen is the place where we revive, we get the nourishment, you know, the things that enrich our lives are in this very sacred place of the home. The home in itself is sacred, but the kitchen, you know, is where we feed not just our body, but we feed the process of making the decision that is ultimately gonna be a major contribution to how we feel, function, and operate after we partake in the consumption of said food. And then I want to add too is that when I with the fries, I put a little sea salt, all right, on my fries, and it's right here. So I put a little sea salt on my fries. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Appreciate you, Fresh. Word, double tap that screen. Indeed. So I got the sea salt right here. And this is the one that I like, where you gotta grind the salt, you know, and break up the crystals. So, you know, a little salt. You know, I do the ketchup thing too. I don't overdo it with the salt. The ketchup already got the salt, but, you know, listen, I'm not over indulging with salt on a constant basis, bags of chips and all it, like, so listen, I still want to enjoy my food. I still love a well-seasoned meal. All right? So and those are cooking beautiful. Like I said, I keep that temperature under a little under 400 when it comes to those fries. Okay, you use the pink Himalayan salt. Got you. I got some of that too. Word up. I think I might have ran out. Now, hold on. I'm going to tell you right now. Hold on, Fresh. I got some of that too. Hold on. Word is born, yo, Fresh. Come on now. I can't make that up. Come on now, yo, Fresh. Come on now. Come on now. We does that. What's that? The pink Himalayan salt right here. I just ain't using that tonight. Come on now, we does that. Yeah, 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 we does that. Look, and this the peanut butter I use. Since we in the kitchen tonight, let me show you how I do. I'm a big peanut butter fan, you heard? If you're going to get the peanut butter, get this right here. Get the Teddy. If you ain't up on that, I don't do the other. I used to do the other, you know what I'm saying? Right here. And look, what I love about this peanut butter right here, 2 ingredients, roasted peanuts and salt. The sodium on this is only 125 milligrams of salt, 8 grams of protein. All right? Come on now. Look, again, if y'all not up on this, get the Teddies, y'all. And it's very easy to stir. It has it has a looser texture opposed to the other peanut butter brands, but like the palm oil and all that. This one right here, much easier to stir. But those other peanut butters, it's very thick. You know what I'm saying? So it's a big difference. Big difference. Word. Big difference. So, speaking of the kitchen too, y'all, right? I'm just sharing with y'all. So, tomorrow, I'm off. So, anytime, a lot of times I'm able to, go live and stuff, of course I have the time to do so. But tomorrow morning, don't hold me to it. This is just a maybe. This is a maybe. I'm going to do the breakfast tomorrow morning. I'm going to show you how the breakfast, how I get lit with the breakfast. I'm going to show you that. I'm going to show you how I do my oatmeal. I'm going to show you the sausage I use, the eggs. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to leave that for tomorrow. And that's a maybe for the breakfast. So, I don't want to make a commitment and not be able to follow up. But I'm going to see what it do tomorrow. And we could do the breakfast thing, you heard? So I'm just going to see how the day goes. So, because if anything, I want to get my workout in. And then I'll just come back to the residence. And then I'll do the breakfast thing and show you how I get busy with the breakfast. Straight up. I does this now. I don't have many recipes under my belt. But one thing I can tell you for sure, I'm very familiar with cooking in general. So the things I do know how to cook, or the things that I'm familiar with cooking, ingredient-wise, I does that. So, yeah. I get busy. And with that being said, more recipes I now have to do my research. Straight up. Nah, no pork, fresh. Nah, I don't eat pork. Nope. Nah, I don't eat pork. Word. But I've said this before though, you know what I'm saying? Because I keep it a stack. We keep it a thou wow. And I'll say it like I've said it before. That pork bacon is different. And what I mean is, when it comes now, I used to eat pork. Let me say that. And this is the thing, right? When we make a certain decision for whatever reason that we do, in the case of me not eating pork, now I haven't ate pork since I was about 17 years old, right? Now, I'd be dishonest if I said that pork didn't taste good. Bacon. I used to love bacon. Now, I do the beef bacon. I like that better than the turkey bacon. But I'm going to tell you this, though. In my opinion, that pork bacon make like the best BLT. Now, because it tastes good, I'm not going to go against the principle, the moral of why I don't eat it. You see what I'm saying? But I'm not going to act like that's the most disgusting thing ever, especially when at one point in my life, that was a favorite food of mine, you heard? Since you mentioned that. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we're going to do. We're going to keep it a thou wow. People that come, yo, I ain't this, I ain't that, I ain't, like, so righteous with certain things that, you know what I'm saying, that they, don't do, or, whatever the case may be. So, is a New York strip steak good for cut diet? I would say that in terms of like a cut diet or a diet in general when it comes to the steak, first of all, the steak is a protein, so that's not gonna affect. If you trying to stay lean or whatever the case may be, it's not the steak is a protein that's gonna feed the muscle first of all. Now, when we're talking about what you're gonna have with the steak, that's a different story. Now, if I had a steak, me personally, I'm gonna have half of a baked potato, right? With some asparagus or some Brussels sprouts. But I'm not gonna have like a whole potato, excuse me, a butter biscuit. No, none of that. Right? So, just like that, them fries is almost done. Just like that. Now, the outside is pretty crispy. I caught it right at the right point where now I turn the temperature down even further, okay, for the fries. And that's, again, is going to keep the inside fluffy, the potato inside. We want the outside crispy, we want the inside fluffy. You know what I'm saying? Alright, that's what I'm aiming for. So that's perfect. The sweet potato, the steak. You know what I'm saying? Have you some veggies with that, you good to go. You know what I'm saying? Just don't overdo it with the sweet potatoes. Now, but then there's another factor in that. For example, like for me, if I had a steak, right? I don't eat steak much at all. I enjoy it, but that's not one of the foods at the top of my list. Now, whether it's steak or let's just say my meal portion in general, right? When I have my meal, right, portion wise, depending on the type of workout, the level that I've done, like, so if I do let's say I do a burpee workout, right? If I do, let's say 300 burpees and then I go do a strength training workout, follow up immediately after, right? That's a lot of exerted injuries, breaking down the muscle. Then I will increase my portion a little more than I usually do, right? Now, so again, that is also a factor in terms of the type of workout, how hard you work out. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're really putting in that work, get busy, you know what I'm saying? Give yourself a meal to, you see what I'm saying, accommodate that work. But after you have that meal, I would say leave it alone for the rest of the night. No more snacks in between, and that's where we really get caught up. That's my opinion. So if we have a great meal after the workout, this, that, and the third, and then at night, we snacking. Now it's taken away from the gains. Right? At least for me it is now. Everybody has a different goal in terms of what their fitness achievements, you know what I'm saying, revolve around. You know, some people just like to be big and bulky and heavy and got their weight up. Now, I was a person years ago, right? I just wanted to have my weight up. You know what I mean? I just like to, you know what I mean, be big, but I had no definition. I had a physique that was not well defined. All right? And as I started to become more appreciative of really working with the aesthetics and just becoming healthy, and really wanted more for myself fitness wise. I made the necessary changes, and now it's knitted within how I live. You feel what I'm saying? It's not, so for me, it's not even about in general just staying fit and shape, and you know what I mean, it's more than just a discipline, motivation, and I'm wired this way. We can program ourselves in a healthy way of, this is just who I am. You feel me? So, but yeah, you know what I'm saying? So that's what it is, y'all. That's what it is, you know? So this is and these cook pretty quick. That's pretty much done. So what I do is, just to make sure I lower the fire down just a tad, just very low with the turkey burgers. And what you could do is too, right? So and they'll dry out. They can get pretty dry. What I'll do is, I could just add a little water. And being that I turned the fire down lower, that water will hold in the pan a little better and just, moisten that burger back to life, sort of, if you will, you know? Word. Y'all, FBA, what's good? Salute. What's the deal? Appreciate you on the check-in. We out here. We making turkey burgers tonight. Turkey burgers and fries. We baking the fries. We got those in the oven. The burgers is pretty much done. You know what I'm saying? I just added a little water to the pan to, bring some moisture back into the burgers a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's what it is tonight. To update you too, FBA, as I just shared with the community, is that tomorrow morning is just a maybe. I'm gonna do the breakfast thing. We're gonna do another cooking episode, and I'm gonna show you how I do my breakfast. I'm gonna show you how I prepare my oatmeal, and a couple of other things that it's gonna be pretty basic, but I'm gonna show you how I do the breakfast thing. You know what I'm saying? So, like I mentioned before, and it's just a matter of me getting the opportunity to, get the cooking episode. You know what I'm saying? So here we are. So I'm going to take a look at these, and yeah, those are done. Fire. And you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. That's done. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not even putting no salt on those, because I could taste it's not necessary. I'm not putting the salt on the fries. It's not necessary. I could taste the salt in the fries, and that's another thing I want to point out, speaking of salt and sugar, right? When you don't over consume the salt and the sugar, right? When when you eat outside of your home, family, friends, you know, and if those ingredients are heavenly present in the food, I could pick up on it immediately. You know what I'm saying? Because I rarely, or I don't overdo the salt and all that. So again, I can detect that when my taste buds are very sharp when it comes to seasonings. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not putting the salt on the fries tonight. Not at all. I lowered my blood pressure by reducing stress and cutting down on salt. Big salute. That's a big deal, Fresh. That's a powerful adjustment. All right? It's a powerful adjustment. That's a life-saving adjustment. You know what I'm saying? So big salute to you on that. You know? That's self-love. Huh? That's taking accountability. Huh? Yeah, so keep it up. Keep doing your thing. Keep getting that workout in and all that. You know, so that's big props to you. Straight up. Yeah, so look, y'all, and let's just see how long we was on here. It took what, pretty much an hour for this. We 52 minutes in. You know what I'm saying? Huss. We 52 minutes in with the meal prep, and it's done just like that. An hour. We got an hour to prepare the meal, right? Depending on what you're making. You got an hour better for your workout, right? Make that hour worthwhile. You know, so much could be done in an hour, y'all. Straight up. You feel what I'm saying? But yeah. So I'm about to start preparing. I'm gonna get this meal ready to eat. I don't want it to get cold. I don't want to reheat anything. You know what I'm saying? But much gratitude. I appreciate y'all as always. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, tomorrow, again, this is just a maybe, because I don't know what direction the days, you know, can go and what have you. So, but it is within the plans of, you know, preparing for the breakfast. And I want to show y'all how I do my breakfast and all that. You know what I'm saying? But of course, yes. But yeah, y'all. Yeah, so again, a quick meal prep with the turkey burgers. We baked the fries. And we're going to get to it, man. You know what I mean? Straight up. We here. You know what I'm saying? What more can I say? You know, we showing up every time, every opportunity. I'm definitely going to do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to show up. You know? And I enjoy it. Straight up. You know what I'm saying? And big shout out to all y'all to chat. I'm always grateful to the utmost. It's never taken lightly. You know what I'm saying? With your participation, with your support, with your suggestions, recommendations, sharing what it is that, you know what I'm saying, you all like and represent as individuals, and then collectively we share that, you know what I'm saying? And that's the beauty in it, you know what I'm saying? We all can get ideas and, you know, try something new, whatever the case may be, but, you know, that's what it's about. Straight up. You know what I mean? And, yeah, it's like that. Definitely show that gratitude. Yeah, y'all. So, catch you on the next go around. Peace.